Warning. Gory Storytime is a horror movie review show by a son and his dad who thought that letting his 5-year-old watch scary movies was acceptable. If you are offended by horror or talk about blood and gore by a child, or if you don't want horror movies from the 60s through today spoiled, then there is a remote stuck in your couch cushion next to potato chip crumbs. Use it. And of course, parental discretion is advised.
Why? You didn't use any.
Shut up and start the show.
Welcome to Gory Storytime. I'm your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and his father, Craig, and...
Sweet dreams, basically.
No. This dumbass. This episode, we're going to be reviewing...
The classic Leprechaun in the Hood.
Yeah. We're doing 4 weeks of awful sequels.
Very bad movies.
What was it that we watched last week, in case people didn't see it? Catch them up.
Damn.
Really?
Yeah, I'm bad right now. Seed of Chucky.
Shh.
I guessed that on my own.
I'm trying to stretch out this episode. There's reasons, so letting him flounder is A, funny, and B...
I had no help. That was all me.
Yeah, that wasn't Colin from the other room helping you out.
Who was Colin?
That is a very deep question that I don't have time to get into right now.
I'll do you one better.
Anyway.
Why is Colin?
Ooh, that's an even harder one to answer.
He doesn't even know.
Anyway, and you know, we have some others that we plan on doing soon. We've pretty much got the 4 figured out.
Hopefully they're better episodes than this.
Well, the whole point is these are awful sequels. Oh, yeah. But yes, Leprechaun in the Hood. It says starring Warwick Davis, who he's always the Leprechaun, and Ice-T. But Ice-T, I wouldn't call him the star. He was a important side character.
A character in this movie.
He was an important side character.
Definitely a side character. Really, I'd have to say Positive P or whatever his name was probably the main one.
Yeah. But before we... Okay, well, let's give a little description of what the movie is. There's a leprechaun. He went to the ghetto. In the ghetto. Anyway.
There you go.
And he's usually after people that stole his pot of gold. But in this one, because why not, he has a magical flute that someone stole.
And he's a little racist.
A little? We'll get into that after, but let's show the trailer of this wonderful piece of art.
That's what it is, a masterpiece.
When Mac Daddy discovers a magic flute,
that's all I want right here.
He becomes the richest man in hip-hop.
Hey, get these losers out.
But when 3 young rappers...
Kind of like Robin Hood. Instead, we're going to be robbing in the hood.
stumble onto his musical treasure, everyone will have to pay the piper.
Unhand me gold, you thieving hoods. You got more loot than Tiger Woods.
They got the flute. We got to get that back. Our part is over.
He's mean.
Did somebody say blow?
What kind of voodoo shit you boys into?
He's green.
Curious aroma.
That's the bomb right there.
The bomb? Ah, the bomb.
He's down.
Does she meet with your approval?
Sit down, my healthy filly. You're about to meet a club named Billy.
Come and let me lay hands upon your sinful creature.
What's that?
It's rap. And then I'm gonna take this and wrap it around your ugly ass.
Warwick Davis. Ice-T.
But the Emerald Isle to your place in the hood on the man of green comes to do no good. You know the left is the real OG.
Got your ass. We don't go down without a fight, right? Right?
Right.
Leprechaun 5. Size doesn't matter when you're still the man.
Okay.
Doesn't that look awesome, people who watch this? All 17 of you?
All 17 of you that watch this channel. And all 18 that have of my friends and family that watch it when I share it on Facebook and YouTube. We beat fact by like 1 or 2 viewings.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so we have a lot to say about this, but even though there's not a lot of
That's because these guys
information,
don't have a lot to say about this.
well, before we get into all the massive amounts of behind
meat
this,
and beef,
the massive amounts of behind the scenes information.
or should I just say the patty?
Anyway, you're interrupting. I'm trying
Make it longer. Yes, keep going.
No, shut the hell up, or I'm going to smack you the hell up. We have to get paid.
Oh yeah.
And how do we get paid around here? We give a shout out to our sponsors. Our real sponsors that
actually exist.
For example, this week, Gory Storytime is brought to you by Straight Outta Fiction, the biggest rap songs performed by your favorite characters from television and movies. Disc 1 includes, which is the TV disc, includes Bart Simpson, Deep Deep Trouble, The Crypt Keeper, The Crypt Jam, Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, and Donald with Whoops, There It Went, and more. Disc 2, Movies, includes Dr. Evil and Mini-Me, Just the Two of Us, Bugs Bunny and the Looney Tunes, Buggin', and the killer from Scary Movie, The Killer Rap. If you order today, you receive a bonus third disc of rap songs about characters, like Marty's Theme by Esham, and Are You Ready for Freddy by the Fat Boys, and of course, Aces in the House by Tone Loc. That's Straight Outta Fiction, available February 30th on all digital platforms and most record stores.
Seems legit. And by the first Irish little person weed dispensary, Pot o' Gold. Come in and get one of our many strains like Magically Delicious, Two Raw Lou Raw High, Barney Stoned, and Midget...
Blarney Stoned.
Oh, Blarney Stoned and Midget Madness. So, come on down to Pot o' Gold today and use the offer code GST and receive 10% off of your purchase. Pot o' Gold, come and get high with a little guy. I like that. Available only to adults 21 and older. Please enjoy responsibly. As responsibly as possible while eating Lucky Charms and watching Rick and Morty.
All right.
Yeah, seems legit too.
Now, we have so much information about this movie. Would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first?
I guess I'll go first.
All right.
This had the closest release date to St. Patrick's Day. It was released on DVD on March 28th, 2000.
What? It's the last entry that was released by Trimark.
This is the 5th movie in the Leprechaun series. Also, the number 5 doesn't appear anywhere in the title or credits, unless you watch the trailer.
And that is all. They didn't really do a deep dive with the trivia stuff that we could look up. Here's a piece of trivia about Ice-T. I saw him perform once when he was like 50 at the Gathering of the Juggalos with your mom in 2008.
Oh, here's another fact. They probably didn't think about this, but...
It's weird that they didn't know that on...
Warwick Davis, right? He was in Star Wars, you said.
Yeah, as Wicket.
Which means, not only was he
And
actually in a movie with the real Force, prior to this he was in space, which means he probably...
That's probably where he picked up
has
the Force.
The Force in this movie, right.
Yes, that explains it. He suddenly has powers that do not exist. Okay, because there's not a lot of actual facts, we're just going to talk about what this movie is. Just Colin, can you just give us a heads up on when we should start doing, the wrap up?
Right.
This movie is
not
racist.
It's not a good sequel at all.
Out of nowhere, this Irish little
him
leprechaun who, by the way, they keep calling green, even though his outfit's green and he's like not.
Red. He's the color of a
He's
ginger's
reddish
hair.
tan and has red hair.
Right.
Because he's Irish and red hair is a thing, but like
he's not.
They keep calling
green.
him green. It's like, okay, you're black and red.
Yes, I am. Didn't you know that? Racist.
You're Native African American. No, like what? How is the color of your clothes you as a color? That doesn't even make sense.
I mean, unless the color of you just decide to wear a lot of.
Well, I'm white. My shirt, as you can see. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. I don't know.
But he does. I mean, the first thing he says when you see him in the movie, what was it? He made a reference to like an old spiritual slave song.
Yeah, I forget what it was, but he said something, and it was a reference to slavery.
Oh no! Yeah, that's what it was. It wasn't a slave song. It was a quote from Martin Luther King. He got out of the. He had a magical gold chain,
which isn't how it was before, but
that kept him frozen as a statue. But when it came off, he announced, "Free at last, free at last. Good God Almighty, I'm free at last."
Oh my God!
I'm not even into being sensitive, but mofo.
And the Chinese guy was racist too.
Yeah, it was all. I mean,
and then
they have a preacher that's swearing and trying to like. I mean, it's everything. It's like if you have any intelligence, that's how it'll offend. Not because of it's racist and sexist and anti-church and all those things. No. It's more offensive if you have an IQ. I am actually dumber for having viewed it.
Explains a lot for me then.
You were breastfed on it, apparently.
Yeah, this was a really bad movie. He magically now has the Force, and he electrocutes people. What the hell is that? He electrocuted a hole in a guy.
And Coolio was in this movie, but not in the credits. But he played Coolio.
Wasn't he just like high in the back of the church?
Pretty much. He walks into the church and it's like, oh my God, that's Coolio. And
that was the whole thing. Was, oh my God, it's Coolio.
It was the horror movie version of every like nerd boyfriend going, that's Stan Lee, he created the characters.
Yeah.
But thanks for jumping in and,
you're welcome.
Cutting off the punchline, dick.
Oh, too soon. Okay.
I wasn't making a joke at his expense. And there's no such thing as too soon. Ha! See? I laughed immediately.
Bitch. Let's see. What else is stupid in this movie? Because there's a lot of it.
I mean, it's...
Positive P or whatever his name was.
Let's just do our favorite and least favorite scenes, because... What was your favorite scene of this pot of gold?
See, here's what I gotta say about that.
No.
Oddly enough, my favorite scene was probably not my least favorite scene, but the worst scene in the movie.
Just what was your favorite scene?
At the very end.
Holy crap!
He starts dancing around with his like
fly girls.
He calls them fly girls. Whatever.
His bitches and hoes.
Yeah, his hookers basically.
They were his fly girls, is what you referred to them as.
He started like dancing around with them and rapping very, very terribly.
No, that hook, Lep in the hood is up to no good. Really?
Lep in the hood here to do no good.
Or whatever. It was awful. But anyway,
it was
that was
definitely
your favorite?
my favorite part.
It was basically a music video.
Because everything else in the movie is too bad for redeeming.
See, here's what I'm going to say.
Like, the conversations the people had in this movie were not believable because they were using big words that didn't sound right in the conversation they were having.
But have you not met people that do that? They want to sound more intelligent, so they use bigger words.
Every person?
Yeah.
Well, in the ghetto? They don't know those big words.
Okay, now you're being racist.
No. Because one of them mentioned...
You're saying these people
one of them had mentioned
in the movie don't know these big words.
No, I'm saying the ghetto doesn't. The ghetto doesn't have schooling.
Wow.
Well,
after the write-in letter campaign, I assume next week it'll be Craig Jakes' Gory Story time. But luckily, he must be from the ghetto because he doesn't know how to read and wouldn't know that he was kicked off the show.
I just stopped receiving checks. That's how I know.
Checks.
That's what it is.
Anyway, my favorite part would be Ice-T. There were scenes where he acted his ass off. And because he's a decent actor and he doesn't know how to be like, oh, this is a POS, I'm going to dumb it down a notch. He literally tried to act his heart out.
And
except for when he
had
the big poofy afro.
Yeah.
The
issue I have with that is his acting was almost too on point in some of the things.
No, but
because his
now imagine if
acting,
the other actors could do it.
Right. Then it might have been a good
And then
movie.
imagine if the scriptwriter could have written a decent script.
Yeah, with all that weird stuff that was happening.
But this was popular enough to come back with Leprechaun
and
back to the...
they were using like big sciencey words to explain what
like
what
and.
No, I don't know the words because they're big and sciencey.
Right, to you those are big and sciencey. That was
no.
Did you not get what I was saying?
I get what you're saying, but they were trying to explain like a fog machine, and instead of explaining fog machine by saying fog machine, they said all the chemicals that were in it. And I'm like, no, nobody knows the chemicals by name except for a chemistry teacher.
Rap artists or any music artists would probably not know that.
And that's what these guys were supposed to be.
Right.
And Positive P was a stupid
the way you're
character.
saying things is making it sound very ignorant and racist of you.
I'm not
If
meaning
you point
that.
out a band that wants to become signed and tour and that's their thing, aren't going to know the chemical ingredients to a fog machine. But you didn't say that.
People won't.
Scientists would, but they wouldn't use a
They
fog
aren't
machine.
people. Scientists aren't people. They're scientists.
Now you've offended the whole scientific community.
Good.
What was your least favorite scene? Because I said my favorite was Ice-T.
There's so many to choose from. Probably Positive P as a whole. His character. He was a really bad character. I didn't like him at all. Every time he turned around, he was trying to make positive things out of the things that were happening. Like, oh, it's okay. They're trapped in a room, right? And they're trying to find a way to get out, and they do something that is completely out of nowhere, where they just put gel on a heating pad and it bursts into flames. And he's over there talking how awesome things are, and I'm like, no, stop it. It's not awesome. You're gonna be killed, and I'm pretty sure you deserve it at this point, because you're dumb.
How about the fact that the plot revolved around a magical flute that had nothing to do with the series up till this point?
And a magical chain amulet.
If you blow into it, it makes no noise, but everyone that hears no noise is suddenly into whatever it is you're doing or saying immediately following.
It's like a hypnotic dog
And that's
whistle.
how Ice-T became a record mogul. But they can't record the sound and have it work, so they can't put it into their records, which means him being a record mogul makes no sense, because even if they were forced to like it live, then when they buy the CD, they'd be like, wait, this is garbage. It's either a tie with that, or the other thing I hated was the rap group that it revolves around sucked. Except they had one song where you go, oh, they can rap? Why didn't they spend more time on the other songs where they couldn't? Either they suck all the way through and they need the flute to make people like them, or they can actually rap and just needed a break and use the... But they can't have 4 songs where,
it's really, really bad.
It sounds like, the audio from a donkey show.
2 that are okay in the middle, and then the rest are garbage again.
Yeah, you can't then suddenly be like, oh, this is actually good, and then the next one not. But anyway, what would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
1.5.
I'm going to say, if we were rating it as a comedy, it still sucked. It doesn't even live up to the comedy that Seed of Chucky did, which says an awful lot.
Because Seed of Chucky was also garbage.
But you admitted was funny as a comedy.
It was okay.
This didn't even have
this
the comedy.
was not okay as comedy.
So I'm going to go ahead and give it a 0.5.
Are we allowed to do that? Between
not?
1 and 10?
Yeah, I'm going 0.5. You've done like 5.5. Why not just half? I won't give it a 0.
I mean...
I'm allowed to do that because it's the show that we created together.
Whatever.
I make up the rules.
Okay, wait. We forgot to do Rotten Tomato scores. Yours was that one.
31?
Yeah.
Was the people?
Yeah, and the critics had it at a 25.
All right, let's do the part where you go over here on the screen.
Over here on the screen. You can watch this show, Fact TV channel, on Fact TV Channel 8, Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. and Fridays at 7 p.m.
And you can email us at gorystorytime@yahoo.com.
Yep.
Give us questions, complaints. Maybe this is your favorite movie of all time and you want to be like, how do they not like the Leprechaun rap?
Yeah, you can like us on Facebook.
You can like Fact TV on Facebook. If you're watching this on the live stream, you've already done that, and good job.
Yeah, ka-chow.
I said good job.
Yes,
not ka-chow, you weirdo. Anyway. Follow us on...
follow us on Twitter. I'm at Jason T. Jakes, capital J, capital T, capital J.
I'm at Craig Jakes, all one word, all lowercase. We don't talk about the show at all, but whatever.
Whatever.
If you want to see things that may offend you...
Yeah.
Or just random jokes with hashtag games. I do a lot of those.
So until next time, I'm your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and father, Craig.
And sweet dreams.